Welcome to OSG Live, where we inspire you to fall in love with your business. Get set to join your hosts, Tanya, Becky, Kylene, and Aaron for your weekly motivation. It's time to share your wins, express gratitude, and choose positive changes. Jump into the comments and share your thoughts with the rest of the OSG community. Coming up, OSG Wellness Super Tools to nourish your mind and body, small business success gems to uncover hidden gems of business excellence, and the uncommon mindset to challenge the status quo. Your journey to success and happiness starts now.
Good morning and welcome to OSG Live. I'm Tanya Doyscher with Gracie B. Doodle Designs, and I'm going to hand it off to Kylene.
And I'm Kylene Montgomery with Rise, Shine, Smile.
Good morning. I'm Becky Kotzer with BK Custom Tees.
And I'm Aaron Montgomery with our Success Group, and we're here to inspire you guys to love your business. So I'm excited for that opportunity today, but we've got to always start off with our superpower. So Kylene, what's our superpower?
Gratitude. So it's something we all have access to. So gratitude, why is that important? Why do we want to start our show off with gratitude? Is because when we're in a state of gratitude, we're in a state of abundance. And therefore, we have even more to be grateful for. We start really attracting more good things to us. So let's attract some good vibes this morning. So I'll start out with what I'm grateful for today. Today, I am grateful for sleep. I think I slept really well last night. I woke up feeling refreshed. So I am very grateful for sleep. And Tanya, what are you grateful for today?
I'm grateful that we had a very successful event over the weekend, but I'm so grateful that it's done.
Good and done. All right.
How about Becky?
Well, let's ask our viewers too to find out what they've got in their gratitude jar today. And so yeah, if you guys are tuned in live right now, I just wanted to take this quick moment to ask you guys what it is that you're grateful for, and go ahead and post those in the comments. But Becky, are you ready to share what you're grateful for as well?
I am very grateful for family. I was able to spend the weekend up at my parents' and have a wonderful time helping them get some wood split and whatnot for the winter. And then just a great event on Sunday that we were able to all get together and have supper and just enjoy family.
Yeah, definitely. That's awesome. You shared a picture with me, and it looked like, just a whole family getting together, and I'm like, wow, it looks like work, but doing it for your parents, that's a good thing.
Missing a few, but we had lots of hands. So
had the crew. I like it. I like it. Awesome. All right, good deal. Well, again, live listeners, let us know what it is that you guys are grateful for. Join the party here. But I am grateful for just this spirit of the rising tide lifts all boats. You guys embody this. I think as a group we embody this idea, and I just truly believe that no success is possible without a crew, right? And so you guys are quite the crew that I get to hang out with. So I'm grateful to be alongside you guys here this morning, and really excited to learn from you guys and share a few things and whatnot. So we'll slowly wait for, I know it's early for everybody, so if you are tuned in live, you just get those fingers moving. We want to hear what you're grateful for too. That gratitude, as Kylene said, is a superpower. Kylene, why is it like so incredibly important for us to share, though, right? It's one thing to sit and be grateful, but then to share it out into the world, what does that do for us?
Well, it almost has like a ripple effect, right? So by you sharing what you're grateful for, you start vibrating at a higher frequency, right? And then therefore you start attracting good things to you. So not only are you being intentional about sharing what you're grateful for, but you're in fact creating that ripple effect for other people to have more good in their life and start feeling better. And then they'll share what they're grateful for, and then you see the pictures. So it's just really important to put it out there and to share publicly what you're grateful for. It's all part of, surrounding yourself too with those positive people and the people who are choosing to see the good in the world, and appreciating what we have instead of always focusing on what we don't and the problems. So.
Yeah. That's so true. Listening to Tanya and Becky share their gratitude, it reminded me, right? I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful to have things behind me. I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to do different things. And so it's just this kind of, if that's what we could do out in the world, the one-upsmanship of what we're grateful for, as opposed to what the world typically does is, oh, I have it worse than you, and the blaming and complaining and excuse making, just imagine how much different our world would be. So it truly makes it a superpower. So Kylene, have you shared what you're grateful for?
Yes, I said I was grateful for sleep.
You were grateful for sleep. All right. Well, you've always got so many things, so I wanted to, just make sure you got it all out, right?
I'm grateful for sleep.
All right. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Maybe that's why I missed that one, because I did not get much sleep. So
Yeah.
I couldn't, but I am grateful for the sleep I have gotten. So I love that. All right. Well, good deal. So are you guys ready to dive into that wellness toolbox? We're excited for Tanya and Kylene are going to bring us that weekly dose of the wellness toolbox. And as usual, it's going to be amazing. Following up what you guys did last week, I'm super excited for today. So are you guys ready for that?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive into that wellness toolbox here.
Hello again.
Hello.
Welcome to the Wellness Toolbox here. And so I feel like we had a nice introduction, Tanya, to gratitude already. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to do a deep dive into gratitude and even more benefits of why it's important to really use gratitude in your life and truly appreciate the things that you have and focus on that, and realize that when you're in that state of abundance, and you start paying attention to all those things around you that maybe you would take for granted normally if you weren't intentional about appreciating them. And so we're going to talk about, gratitude, the benefits, some things to be aware of, right? There can be some drawbacks with gratitude, not many, but there can be some just to be aware of, and then how we can really implement that into our lives. So if there's any listeners that want to share, what does gratitude mean to you? Please share in the comments. But the definition that I have found that for me personally makes sense is that it's kind of has two main qualities. It's appreciating and recognizing something valuable to you without considering that monetary value of it. You're just, it's meaningful to you, and appreciating that you have that. And then the second one is gratitude to something freely given to you. So appreciating what the world has provided to you, appreciating what others do for you, how others show up for you and impact you, and appreciating all those amazing people in your life. And so for me, gratitude has really been an opportunity to focus on good and attract more good. Tanya, what does it mean to you?
It's just, for me, a reminder that even if things aren't going great, that there's still always something that you can choose to be happy about.
Yeah.
And that's so important, because it can take you out of a bad situation, a bad mindset or whatever, and help you to move forward. And it also attracts you to positive, like-minded people, which I feel is so important. As I've gotten older and figured out more of what I want to be doing, it's more important to me to I don't have to have a quantity of friends. I need to have a quality circle. And a gratitude mindset has really helped with that.
Yeah, I love that. It is important because you've attracted those people, right? You've appreciated the ones that are meaningful for you, and therefore you give to them as much as they give to you, and that's what makes it a positive relationship, which we all strive for. Yeah.
And I also, in the past, I was kind of a negative Nelly, and when when you're attracting that and you're putting that out, it's just so easy to go back and forth and never get out of the negative.
Mhm.
And I much prefer to live in the positive, what ifs and think ahead rather than just focusing on the aches and pains and the ick of the world.
Yeah. I like that you brought that up, because that is something that can happen sometimes without us really realizing the environment that we're put in. It can start to impact us, and we might not realize it, that are the things that we're focusing on are those problems, and they are those I don't know, negative things, not the positive. And I think that's where gratitude, using gratitude in your life intentionally, is that superpower, because you are taking control over your thoughts. No one can take that away from you. You can.
Right.
And so being intentional with gratitude pulls you out of some of those negative things that could impact you in your life without you really realizing it. I know personally that's happened to me in the past, and I had to remove myself from that environment at the time to really use those tools that I have. And gratitude is truly one that I use every day, all day.
Well, and I can tell if I'm falling off of being intentional with gratitude, not posting on the gratitude channel, which we'll get to in a little bit, because I would love to see more people posting there. And even just making it a conscious choice to do my gratitude for myself. I can definitely tell a difference that I'm not as positive and things feel like the sky is falling more when I'm not doing that. And so it's like, okay, I've got to get back to this, because I certainly like how things roll a lot better when I am focused on that.
Yep. And I think that kind of starts our main, reason on why gratitude is so powerful. We can tell inside how we're feeling when we are intentional with sharing our gratitude and appreciating what we have, than when we don't. I think that's really important. I think Michelle had shared something on what gratitude means to her, being thankful for things. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. Yeah, it's appreciating the things that we have in our life. And it's really simple, right? It's truly just the choice to appreciate what we have and not look at what we don't.
And it doesn't have to be anything of like major proportion. It could be, I'm thankful for sleep. I'm thankful for the sunshine. I'm thankful for rain. If you can find like just one thing, then you'll find that it's easier to find those bigger things and do a deeper dive. So just kind of like what I say about exercise, it doesn't have to be like an hour at the gym. It just has to be a small amount, and it builds over time. So, and I love the quote that you had from Mother Teresa: more hunger for love and appreciation in this world than for bread. And I just really liked that when I read it.
Yeah. For me, it kind of summed up like, what are we trying to share here? We're trying to improve our life, right? We're trying to create a life full of joy and fulfillment and purpose. And what better way than to start appreciating the people in our life, the things that we have, use that as our foundation, and continue to build from there.
There's quite a few benefits of gratitude, and then we'll get to a couple of drawbacks in a little bit. But the first one is enhanced well-being. And I can definitely speak to this, because when, a year ago, I was incredibly unhealthy, and having started gratitude already last year, it at least helped me to start getting out of some of the unhealthy mindsets that I was having, and it really helped.
Yeah, that's great. And just adding on to that is the deeper relationships that you can create. We all know what it's like when you're in kind of a one-sided relationship where it's like, I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Like you have those situations, but if you truly give to that person, they're going to give back to you, and you're going to have that strong foundation. And like you were saying at the beginning, you found the people that are like-minded. They have an optimistic view on life, and they just look for solutions, and they're excited about life, not looking for all the doom and gloom.
Right. Improved optimism is another one too, because you can be having a rough time and things might not be going absolutely correctly in the grand scheme of things. But if you're grateful, you can still be optimistic about what's going to happen in the future, or that things are going to turn out okay.
Yep, most definitely. And increased happiness is huge. Oh, go ahead. Keep a gratitude journal and write a few things in daily. Then you'll have a whole full journal of all the amazing things to be grateful for. Most definitely. It is amazing when you write what you're grateful for, and then you can be grateful for the same things every day. That's fine. But as you add to that list, if you really choose to go a little bit deeper and look at all the amazing things in your life, you'd be like astonished at all the amazing things. So when life is giving you some of those moments that maybe you're feeling a little sad or down or anxious, look at that list and be like, man, I do have a lot of really good things happening in my life. And it can help you pull yourself out of that state. So that really helps gratitude with increased happiness.
Stronger self-control, because once you start being grateful on a daily basis and practicing gratitude, you're not going to want to give that up. So you'll find that you can pause instead of maybe snapping back at someone. I had that experience this weekend. I held my own with some grown football players that had attitudes with me, and I was able to control the situation, where a year ago I would have probably just ran off crying and called my husband to deal with it. So stronger self-control is huge.
Yeah, that's huge. And then just to kind of summarize overall, you have greater physical health and greater mental health. We are taking care of ourselves by creating more positive feelings in our body and just vibrating at that higher frequency, looking for the good. So I guess anyone listening, if you want to share, the benefits for you, what you have noticed in your life when you use gratitude, please share. But the one thing that Tanya and I wanted to talk about is some of the drawbacks with gratitude. And when I first even considered there could be a drawback with gratitude, my mind was kind of blown a little bit, because I'm like, how can something meant for good hurt us? But then again, it's like too much of a good thing, right? Can, I don't know, hold us back. And so I guess one of the drawbacks that I really wanted to talk about was it can keep us stuck in where we're at. Just appreciating, I should be thankful I have this beautiful home, or I have a job, I am earning money. Well, I should be grateful for that, and I shouldn't want to ask for more. And it can really play tricks on you sometimes, where you almost can create a negative feeling, right? By feeling guilty for wanting more in your life. And I think that that's something to be aware of. So if you're finding yourself not striving for more in your life, then, and you're feeling guilty for wanting more, just remember that, life is here to happen for you. You have those dreams, you have those desires for a reason. It doesn't mean that you're not going to appreciate what you have and use that as that positive momentum to keep going forward. So that was kind of one of the big drawbacks of, realizing it can hold you back a little bit.
I don't think anything positive can happen from shooting on ourselves.
Yep.
So
Okay.
I completely agree with that. And like I said, it doesn't have to be anything huge that we're grateful for, as long as we are grateful, and it helps us to look forward to get us through situations that might not be pleasant. Life's full of surprises, and it's how we respond to events. And gratitude can't take the event away, but it can help us get through the process.
Yep. Most definitely. I love that. So, yeah, go ahead. I was just going to say, just kind of wrapping up like what people can do. So Erin already mentioned, you know, the keeping the gratitude journal, how powerful that is. Do you have anything else that you would recommend people use, how they use gratitude?
Just the overall practice of it. And I mentioned it earlier, there is a gratitude channel, and I don't know if Erin has the link real handy, but if you go to this link, you can post your gratitude. And listening to other people's gratitude, I get filled up just as much with that as by posting my own. It creates that ripple effect and the positive feelings. And so I just highly recommend, and I would love to see more people posting on there. And I know I need to get back to doing it daily again.
Same here. Yep. It is a powerful tool. And the one thing I want to say about that channel is it's not full of people who are going to judge you. You can be grateful for whatever is important to you that you're appreciating, and no one's going to judge you. People are just thankful that you're using gratitude and you're sharing it, and we're creating this community of like-minded people, and it's a real powerful place. So, yes.
Another thing that you could do is appreciate the people in your life. Give them a call, a text, a message. I know when I get those messages, it just really fills me up that, oh, someone cares. And especially, you know, they don't know that maybe you're not having the best day ever, or maybe then you can reciprocate. So it just kind of expands on itself, one after the other.
Most definitely. Yep. Yeah. I know for me personally, when someone sends me a little note or phone call out of nowhere, just checking in, and it just means the world to me. And so if we have good things in our life, we need to nurture them. And so appreciating that is really important.
Yep. Appreciate yourself, self-care. That is so important, and it helps you to appreciate what you have in your own life, if you're able, and better enables you to fill others' cups if you're filling your own as well. And I know I've said that before. It's a very important thing. I know I'm a little bit short on the self-care right now because we've been so busy, but that's definitely in my plan to happen actually today.
Yes. Yep. Well, that's awesome. I love that. And then it's just choosing gratitude, right? Tanya, your choose word. It's so powerful. Choose gratitude.
Yep, actually, I already did. Today I'm choosing perseverance and gratitude.
I love
perseverance because it's been a really long week or so. And so I just need to keep persevering, but gratitude because I'm so appreciative of what has been accomplished and what's to come. So
love it. Yeah. Great job. And Michelle wrote, I forgot about that link. Going to make a shortcut to on my homepage next to Slack.
Yay!
Yes, love to see you over there. Yes, and that is rssyoga.link/gratitude is that channel. So yeah. So are we ready to go into our next segment?
We are.
With our uncommon mindset.
All right. Well, I know that you guys are like, you played the wrong thing, but I just wanted to come back real quick and get the group back together here for one moment. The Fab Four, right? I'm going to see if we can make that stick.
I knew he was going to get that in there.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to get that in there. But just for us to really kind of just take a quick moment just to break that down just a little bit, what you guys all shared. There was so many golden nuggets in there that I don't want those things to get past our viewers here. So Becky, anything stand out to you that you really wanted to kind of highlight?
I like the part of amazing how once you start listing your gratitude or speaking it out, how much it comes back to you. And then I don't use the gratitude channel like I should either. So I, as Michelle, will try to get it posted next to a shortcut that's easier to get to.
Yeah.
And it's not so much that anything's holding me back from doing it. I just truly forget because I get going. But listen, as Tanya said too, as listening to other people talk and share their gratitude, it is amazing how much more that just warms warms the inside and makes that feel, that feeling of gratitude just spread.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think, you're thinking about like the gratitude channel or just doing that, right? We go, oh my gosh, it's just one more thing for me to do. But the reality is that should be, kind of the priority thing. And I know that's hard to choose that, but if you can make that the priority level, then you don't have to work so hard. It's just going to come to you. Right. And it's hard to believe that takes a little bit of faith, but because I love what Kylene had said there. She said, life is, and I quoted it, so I'd write it down here. Life is here to happen for you.
Yes.
Right? And I think all too often that's the uncommon mindset, right? We really want to believe that the world's conspiring against us, but it's us conspiring against us. When we're in, like Tanya, you were talking about, getting yourselves out of that negative Nancy area, or negative Norman in my case, because I fight that battle too. And thank goodness I've got Kylene around to kind of say, hey, the world is a good place. So no, I love that. So the other thing that I loved was, you'll hear all of us start using this on the regular all the time. So we've kind of hijacked it from you, Tanya, but just again, choosing to make these things important to us, right? To just take a moment. Like for me, I personally just write down on my daily planner sheet that I use 5 things that I'm grateful for. And then, that goes in my folder. And now I've got this list of, oh my gosh, yeah, I do have a lot of things to be grateful for. And that abundance mindset shows up for me. So anyhow, Tanya, Kylene, anything that we said there that resonates for you guys?
I love the fact that everyone is choosing to choose and talking about it. That just fills my heart.
Love it. What about you, Kylene?
I think just overall, I think hearing all the positive effects from choosing gratitude in your life, and how it's just a choice. It doesn't cost us money. We can just choose to show up and for ourselves and use gratitude in our life. And it's just making that habit.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we were hoping that people would grab from this conversation, is that it can be a habit and it's achievable, and it's powerful.
Yeah. Well, and I also like the fact that you guys were willing to talk about, not necessarily the negative side. I think, getting away from the labeling of everything, but how it could potentially hold you back a little bit, right? Because the gratitude's not meant to go, okay, gratitude, and then I just do nothing. It's gratitude. Now I show up and take action from a more positive space, from a more enlightened and lifted up space. And so I thought that was really valuable too, that you guys shared that. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. Well, shall we dive into the uncommon mindset here?
Yes.
All right, here we go. All right. Welcome back, everybody, to the Uncommon Mindset. I am incredibly thankful and grateful to be sandwiched in between the Wellness Toolbox and the SBS Gems coming up. Wow. How did I get so lucky here? But today, this is the second week of the show, second week of my series on working on versus working in. And we kind of dove into this topic, but I want to start getting into some of the more nitty gritty stuff here. But last week we tackled this topic that every business owner it's really a crucial part of being a successful business owner, is making that distinction. Because once we make that distinction, then we can be intentional about it. But the distinction between working on your business versus working in your business. And so before I dive into today's content, I just wanted to do a quick recap of what we talked about last week, just kind of as an overview. But I invite you to head over to liveosg.com and make sure that you check that out. In fact, I'd love to hear from anybody that's tuned in live right now. If you checked out last week's and what your number one takeaways were from last week's, it could be Uncommon Mindset, it could be the Wellness Toolbox, it could be SBS Gems. There was tons of great information last week. So I'm curious to know what you guys loved the most. And even if you're not catching the live, just put it in the comments and we'll still be keeping our eyes out for that. Just head over to Live OSG and you can check out all that information. But last week, we talked about that distinction, right? It kind of really understanding what the difference was, how working in your business is kind of like being a living cell, a living organism. You're kind of in the trenches, you're handling the customer inquiries, you're managing your inventory, meaning you're out there making phone calls to a bunch of different places when you can't find the inventory, right? And that kind of thing. And, maybe even serving as the company's delivery driver. And these are the tasks that get your business from point A to point B, and they are critical for daily operations. So just wanted to be real clear that this was not a negative thing. Working in your business is very critical to our success. But what I wanted to bring up then was the counterintuitive side that sometimes we miss, right? If you're always at that cellular level, then who's overseeing the whole being, right? Who's overseeing the overall growth and health of your business? And that's where working on your business comes in. So we did explore the kind of uncommon mindset was stepping back to focus on the bigger picture, thinking about making time intentionally for planning, for making strategic changes, to kind of setting the course for the future. And, we talked about how that proactive approach helped us understand where point A and point B are. So that was kind of, and then the really thing that to me, like, just kind of lights me up and makes me really want to get to working on the business when I can find that time, or I choose to make that time, is when I do work on my business, it just rekindles that passion, right? It helps us kind of take that initial excitement about why we're doing it and puts us back into that state of flow because we're more clear with what it is that is important. So Michelle said, listen last week and it was all good. I love it. Love it. Thank you, Michelle, for sharing that. So I want to get into this week's here where we're going to dive into getting specific about how working on our business, just a slight amount of time too, will net you a much greater amount of time to actually work in your business. And better yet, not always be a slave to your business, right? You're going to have the ability, once you spend a little bit of time working on your business, to live a more balanced and fulfilled life because your business is not stealing all of your time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give you 4 quick examples of some working on tasks that you could do that are kind of will reduce the amount of a similar working in task. And then let you guys, these are just 4 quick ideas. Anytime you're working on your business, it's really going to reduce another part of working on your business, it's really going to reduce the working in your business side of things. So here we go, ready to dive in here. So the first one is marketing groundwork. And marketing groundwork is pretty simple. It basically is clarifying who your ideal customer is. It's understanding who your brand is, what your brand is, identifying and making clear, and then setting into motion, making sure that brand is what people see. And then it's understanding the product mix, what fits into both those categories, right? We can do everything, right? We have the ability to go figure that out. We could be, all things to everybody, but we end up being nothing to no one, right? When we do that. So it's really kind of understanding what that product mix is that is going to match up with our ideal customers and our brand. And so when we do that work, and this is what we just did for those of you that are part of our success group, we just went through the 5 keys of marketing back a few weeks ago. And that's what it was, right? That we dove into that. So then we could make a marketing plan that was specific to our business. So that way we would have more time to be working in our business, right? We do the marketing and we get busy, and that's great. But what happens for most people is they get busy and then they're overwhelmed, right? So we want to have that time and space to be able to do that. So the marketing groundwork would be something that will give you more time to make the sales calls, to have the relationships with the people that say, hey, I saw your marketing, I'm interested, right? What happens to most of us is they go, I saw your marketing, I'm interested. And then you're like, oh gosh, just send me the information. I'll try to get back to you. We're so busy. I'm got so much production, yada, yada, yada. But if I know who my ideal customer is, and I know what's important to my brand, right? If it is, let's say it's customer service and being there for my customers, and then I've set up, okay, these are the only products that I'm going to really focus on. It doesn't mean you can't, bring in, do a job that's outside of your product mix, but more often than not, that's going to be something that you want to, farm out to somebody else, right? And so you just focus in on your core. Now you have time to have that sales call, to go have a coffee with a new potential customer, because you know who it is that you want to work with, and you're not chasing stuff that you don't want to work with. You're not projects that you don't want to work with. So when you do that, you kind of become the master of your area of expertise, and then you're in flow, right? Then it's a much easier space to be from. So that's number one. Marketing groundwork is an on task that you can do, right? We just spent 1 week out of an entire quarter working on it. That's it. 1 week out of an entire 3 months worth of time working on it. And that's going to give you enough to get to a place where you fall in love with your business, as opposed to dreading it all the time. So that's number one. The second one is working on task would be improve policies, right? And this would be the opposite of handling customer service issues, right? Because that's an in. We have to do that. We have to make sure that the customer's needs are met. But the customer's needs aren't met because their expectations aren't met. And so customer service is not about bending over backwards and doing everything that every single customer wants. Now, once you've taken their money, it becomes that. But once you take their money, their expectations are going to be set. And if you weren't clear about how your business operates, if you weren't clear about your policies and procedures, well, guess what? Now you're going to have to take that time to figure out, okay, how do I explain this? How do I, maybe I'm really busy and I don't really want to put my empathy hat on, right? Sometimes we get that, right? Oh, I want to strangle the customer kind of thing, right? That kind of idea. But the reality is, it's not that they're a bad person. It's not that you're bad at your job. And none of that is true at all. The only thing that's true is that the expectations weren't clear, right? Now, if it happens and the expectations weren't clear, that's okay. That's just a learning opportunity that now you can go back and put that into the bank, so to speak, to say, okay, when I am a little bit slower, now I'm going to make sure that I'm choosing, thank you, Tanya, to work on improving my policies. And this is the policy that I need to improve, because here's what I know to be true for most of us. Most of our customer service policies were written after some really crummy thing just happened to us, right? And do you think that other customers that weren't part of that situation are going to understand the context of why you're yelling at them? Right? Nope. But that's how we write our customer service policies. So we have to have that ability to work on them, so we can choose to do it from a time where, we're not upset about the thing that happened. We can actually write it from this is why it's good for you, Mr. or Mrs. Customer, right? And so that's another working on thing that we can do. And once we do that and we have those clear policies and we know how to explain those when we get a new customer in and we get that new customer trained, then our customer service issues are going to be smaller, right? And those customer service issues being smaller means I've got more time to bring in new business. I've got more time to get the production done quicker, so I'm not working 24 hours a day. I've got more time to go be with my family. I've got more time to actually celebrate the holidays, things like that. All right. So that is number 2. Number 3, I just called it administrative efficiency tools for lack of that was kind of the general broad statement, and I'll explain it here in just a second. And this would be the opposite of a working in task of kind of administrative work, routine administrative work. So what this is all about thinking about, okay, my business is a series of systems. And if your business is not a series of systems currently, and you're just running from one thing to another, and I've got this list over here, I've got that list on the wall, and I've got 3 calls coming in. I've got 2 Facebook Messenger orders there. I've got an email. I've got, right, all of these things, and you don't have a system for it, then that's a administrative efficiency opportunity there, right? So maybe you're not going to be able to stop somebody from, sending you a Facebook Messenger post to give you their order, right? And that might not be possible, right? But here's what I know to be true. Every time you say the word can't, or every time you have that thought in your head of, I can't get this person to not go to Messenger, the only thing that means is that's not a definitive. That just means that you have not thought about an alternative yet. You haven't gotten back away from it far enough to think about the alternative, because the can't there is, I can't get people to not send me orders on Messenger. You absolutely can. You just have to train them and make them understand why it's so much more important for them to go through your website, right? A lot of people have built these great websites where they can take orders from, and then nobody goes there, and they still get the Facebook, right? And we still do the, like, once you build that thing, then the next part of that system is working on, how do I educate the customers as to why it's so important for them to go through this tool, right? And the same thing can be said of all the things that we do. I'm not saying that you just need to shut down your business right now and go, oh, okay, I'm just going to work on my systems. What I'm saying is, just like with those expectations of your customer service policies, make a note, make a list of the things that are, taking a lot of your time. What's the biggest headache that you currently have in your business? Make a note of that, and then choose to work on your business. Choose to go, okay, I'm going to try to start fixing this area. I'm going to give my 15%, right? If we're talking about working on versus working in, I always say, try to dedicate 15% of your business time to working on your business, and then go from there. So, yes, sir. Oh, sorry. My son is leaving for the bus, so he wanted to say bye. So Michelle says, I have people send me orders through messenger text and while I'm out and about. Yep. Absolutely. And there's nothing inherently wrong with that, other than if that is a challenge and you have a hard time and that's taking up all your time, right? Then how do you address that, right? With a lot of those things. Now, if they're sending them to your personal messenger, then you've got to get them to go through your business messenger. And then once they're in your business messenger, you can have an auto responder that says, thank you for reaching out. For faster service, go to our website, blah, blah, blah. We'll connect with you within 24 hours, right? Or something like that, right? So just having those systems in place. If you think about anything that when you interact with other businesses, there is a system behind that interaction, right? And so you've got to do the same thing in your business to start building those systems. All right. So that's administrative efficiency tools. Because when we have those systems in place, again, it just frees up so much more time that I can do the other working in things, right? And there you go. So here's Michelle's system. She says, I take time every day to update my Trello board with the orders, right? Okay, so that way I'm not having to run back and go, okay, shoot, was that on Messenger? Let's see, she said she got a text message. Did I have that on that, right? So her system is every day update the Trello board with orders. So good job, Michelle. Let's give her a round of applause there. Building a system, that's what it's all about. Okay. The fourth thing here that I've got for you guys is business planning versus just handling daily operations, right? And this is similar to what we just talked about with these systems, but a little more kind of big picture, right? This is about spending time setting the objectives, right? We talked about when we're just working in, that's the getting us from A to B. But if I don't actually know what A and B are specifically, then I might not actually be getting from A to B. I might be starting at C and ending up at Z, which is way over here. So my arms all like that, right? So, what prioritizing the tasks. Like I can't tell you how much I just learned. I've talked about time studies many times in our success group, and it'd been a little while since I'd done one. And so I've spent the last 2 weeks. In fact, I'm coming into this third week to kind of just see where I need to start making different changes. But just spending the time to do that time study, it helped me kind of look back and go, oh, wow, I thought that was going to be, a 30-minute project. And there's a 2-hour chunk, and up then, oh yeah, I found out that I like to do this. This is when I'm not in that state of flow, this is my go-to activity, which something that needs to be done, but did it really need to take 2 hours? Probably not. Right. And so it's just prioritizing, understanding what the actual priorities are. I won't get the exact quote right here because I don't have it in front of me and I don't remember it specifically, but it's something to the effect of you have to let go of the good so you can make room for the great. And I think that's either a Zig Ziglar or Brian Tracy or somebody like that said that. So that's what that's all about, prioritizing and then allocating the resources efficiently, right? We have resources around us that we don't always utilize to their best. We could reach out and find a VA. We could ask a neighbor kid that is got some time on winter break to help us out. We could, go and kind of network and find a mom out there, stay-at-home mom that wants a little extra work when the kid's at preschool or something along, right? I mean, there's all these resources available to us. They talked about in the Wellness Toolbox that gratitude and realizing that the world is conspiring for you. Those are all the resources that you have available to you. But if you don't plan your business, if you don't look at what do I need help with, then I don't, right? So when we're not kind of looking from that higher level, I saw a friend of mine post something the other day. He called it hot air balloon and microscope, right? So we need to look at our businesses from the hot air balloon, from that high up vision. And then we also need to put certain things under a microscope and get into the systems and the details of it, right? And so once we do that, then we're reducing time figuring out, right? We're getting our time back just by prioritizing, right? I can get rid of that, and then I can go watch TV, read the news, do whatever it is that is my guilty pleasure once I've handled the priority things, right? So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Sorry, it was a little bit longer today, but I think, we wanted to get into this. I wanted to get into some details. So next week, we will close up this series on working on your business, this uncommon mindset of trying to focus on working on your business. And we're going to break down how to make this concept stick in your business and give you some more strategies and tools that can be used to get the most value out of working on your business. So I do want to kind of just extend an invite to anybody who's kind of been inspired by this uncommon mindset or anything to reach out. And I'm going to put the banner up here. You can reach out to me directly at consultaaron.com and just talk to me about what it is that you're being held back by, what it is that what your thoughts are on this. And if you're eager to build a business that you love, then there are valuable resources available to you. I just mentioned that, right? We've got all these resources around you, and our success group is 100% committed to helping you on that journey, whether it's the book that I've got, The Fundamentals of Business Success, the classes, the courses, the training that we have inside of our success group, or this community. The people that I get to do this with, these are integral parts of this community that you will get to interact with and grow together. We do believe that a rising tide lifts all boats. And so we've got the tools to help you with that. So just reach out to me. The old Chinese proverb says a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step, right? And this is the first step. Just reach out and we can talk about where our success group can help your business. And just to kind of help you guys understand a little bit more about what our success group is, I'm going to just play a quick little promo video and give you an opportunity to sign up for our success group if you're not already a member. So I'm going to dive into that, and then I will be right back with the rest of the Fab Four, and we will get into the final section of Small Business Success Gems. As a small business owner, the journey can often feel overwhelming. It can feel like you're overworked, underappreciated, and alone. At our success group, we guide you to uncover the fundamentals necessary for success and lead you to fall in love with your business. We provide the foundational support and guide you towards a business that you love, not just a job that you dread. With OSG, we tackle aligning your business with your reason or purpose, defining a pricing strategy tailor-made for your business, and pave the way for you to identify your ideal customer. This is just scratching the surface. The mindset shift we provide is the game changer. We're here to support you every step of the way.
Take a chance on yourself, trust in your potential, and let OSG guide your first steps towards lasting fulfillment. Go to osg.link/try-OSG.
All right. Well, we are back. We'll do a little shifting here, get everybody back in their approved spots. And all right. Well, thank you guys for giving me that time and space. I know, like I said, I went a little bit longer there, but obviously you guys can tell that's passionate area of mine. Anything that stood out for you guys before we get Becky up here for the Small Business Success Gems?
Just really great reminders for me, because I have kind of lapsed back into that working in instead of on.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's going to happen for sure. I just sorry to interrupt, Kylene. I do want to make sure that I let everybody know to give yourself that space and grace. That is going to happen, but just figure out, again, it comes back to a system. Figure out a system where you can remind yourself to get back to, I just need 15%. That's all I'm asking for. Figure out a way, fight, scratch, and claw for that 15%. So sorry, Kylene, what were you going to say?
Oh, I was just going to say, it's helped me feel more connected diving into that marketing that we just did. It got me back to why I'm doing what I'm doing again. So instead of going through the motions, I'm more connected and intentional with that. So
yeah, wonderful.
Love that.
Super awesome. All right, cool. Becky, anything for you before we send you off to get the gem polished up here?
I totally agree with Kylene for, kind of connecting in there with doing that marketing stuff. It just kind of opened my eyes to relook at, which direction or which path is this business going to go, and where do I want to put that focus on? So,
Yep. Love it. Okay. Well, shall we dive into the Small Business Success Gem here? Yes, and yes. All right, I got thumbs up across the board. All right, here we go.
good morning, everybody. I'm a little out of sorts. The kids didn't get up, so I was running in between segments trying to make sure they were up for the bus here shortly. So thanks for joining me. Today, I chose that we would talk about pricing products for profit. I've seen this quite a bit since the 5 years I've started. I've been guilty of a lot of this. So there are some, how do you guys price your products? Do you have a formula? Let me know in the comments, how do you guys price your products? This is something that I know Erin is extremely passionate about. We talked about it at length the other night. I started my notes and all the things and was really diving down in, and it was like, okay, that's not going to work. We're going to trail it back here just a little bit. So first of all, there's three top things that, for lack of better words, we do wrong. Again, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm guilty of all three of them. When I started my business, this is exactly how I did it. So the first is the tricky formula of everything your cost times 3. That can overprice you on something, that can underprice you on something. It just makes for kind of chaos in, feeling like you didn't get enough out of that product because maybe you spent 2 extra hours on it that you weren't thinking, and now it just didn't have the profit in it that you thought. How about pricing products low just to get an order in? Looking at competitors and going, oh, I can do that, and price it below that just so that, you can get those orders in. And then the one I'm probably the most guilty of was asking in groups, Facebook groups, social media groups, wherever, like, hey guys, I'm doing this. What's the price? Well, everybody's price is going to be I found that it was all over the board. So what good did that help me? It didn't help me. So once I teamed up with Erin in our success group, and I went through, I never finished the 5 keys of marketing, which is why I did the marketing thing here last week. But once we dove into that plan, there's a whole segment on knowing your numbers. And that's what I want to give you, just a short, quick overview of what that gets you, so that you guys can kind of start thinking about, oh, okay, there's maybe a better way. So first, overhead. Overhead is your expenses. These are the things, think rent, utilities, payroll. You are paying yourself, right? That's one thing that not a lot of people remember to do. How about planning for the future? These are all expenses that we need to make sure we account for every time we open the door, every time you start your business, every time you work on your business, work in your business. Those are all things that need to be paid regardless. The second is time. We were just talking about the time to work on the business, in the business, but there's also ordering all your products in, sorting them and counting them. They don't just magically appear in the right spot. I wish they would. I've tried, haven't figured out how to get that done yet. Packaging, shipping them out. Those are all things that add up. You're thinking, oh, that doesn't take that much time. But if you're talking, 50 orders and they all need to be sorted, counted, bagged, ready to go, that little bit of time is going to start adding up. Next, you have direct costs. Your direct cost is probably your easiest one to figure out. That would be your cost of your blank, your inbound freight. These things, like I said, should be easy. If you're trying to track blowout paper and the 6 inches of packing tape that you put on a package and it starts to get too hard and you're thinking this is too hard, those are items that should just go back up into your overhead costs. Just lump them in there. You have a cost. It figures it out. So the biggest thing to remember is if it's too hard to track, put it up there. So now we've got overhead costs, we have time, direct costs. Now you can add some profit margin because now you can get it to where your selling point should be. From there, the biggest thing to remember is your business is unique. You can be doing the same thing. Tanya and I do the same thing. Erin, Kylene have some of the same things. We do the same things. But every time you look at your numbers and they look at their numbers, even though you're doing the exact same thing, your numbers are never going to be exactly the same. Maybe they're closer to a shipping hub than I am. It's going to cost me a little bit more to get it in my spot. There's just all these variables that make a difference on whether or not what factors into those costs. So knowing your numbers and learning your price can save you from so much chaos, both now and in the future. So this is really short. I just want to give a very, very quick overview. But if you're ready to know numbers, if you're ready to learn your numbers, get your pricing strategy set, I want you to join us at OSG. Working with Erin, work with me, we can get you set through knowing those numbers, use our tools to get to that and have a great aspect of knowing what's going on. Make it much easier and be confident. Since I've gotten through that part, it's a way easier to click into my spreadsheet, add a few items, know what numbers, add my direct costs, and then the rest of it just kind of figures it for me. So I can be way more confident in what I'm pricing my items at. So please, Erin put up the link as far as clicking the consult Erin to get started with him. Go to OSG or oursuccessgroup.com or comment here. We'll get back to you. However you can reach us, just reach out to us. The biggest thing we want to do is work with you. Your business is unique. We want you to feel confident in that and make everything flow better for your business. Again, like I said, I was short. I was kind of flustered with the kids today, so I apologize for that part. But let's join the others. Let's see if they've got any extra things.
All right. Sorry, I was a little quick on the trigger. I'm like, oh shoot, I can't take it back now. All right. Well, that was really good. That was really incredible. I'm gonna have to have you come teach my pricing seminar because people go, oh, that's more to the point. Okay, that's better.
Well, this is just a real quick. There's so much more to it, and everybody, in order to get into that and to know your numbers, you do have to dive pretty deep into it. So. Yeah. Well, and I think that you hit the most important point there was just remember that your business is unique, right? So if there's ever a hard and fast, this is the way you should do it, ask why, right? And like there's systems that'll
allow you to tune it to your business. But if anybody's ever, like you said, the 3X, why 3, right? Why not be 4 and I make more money? Or why not be 2 and I be the cheapest? I don't know. Nobody can answer that. So love it. All right. Anything else, Tanya, Kylene?
No, it was just really good. Great reminders.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think, because it's easy to hear what other people are doing and think that that's exactly what I should do, especially getting started. But realizing the long-term effect of doing and operating your business that way can really hurt you.
Yeah, definitely. All right. Well, Tanya, you want to close us out here?
I do. Let's talk about OSG on ICE. ICE stands for Inspire, Collaborate, and Encourage. I started it 3 or 4 years ago. It just is a way that I've really found that fills my cup, and I love it. The mindset goes hand in hand with Choose, which we already talked about a little bit. The Choose board is a great tool. Erin and Kylene, yours is going out today. I apologize. It did not get done at the end of the week.
We were late, so you're good.
And it just goes back to that intentionality of being able to choose what you need, choose gratitude, and choose to inspire, collaborate, and encourage with others. Collaboration is one of my love languages. I love it. If you want to choose board, there's a link up on the thing right now. It is a very powerful tool. I do mine every day. I actually do a TikTok on it, and then I have it where I can see it. So it's a reminder, especially on days that are hard, that, okay. Again, the other thing is you can choose what you need as often as you need it. So you can choose a different choose word throughout the day. When I was having a really hard time with Jay's health issues, I was choosing happy every 5 minutes because I'm like, okay, I need to choose happy. I need to choose happy. I need to choose happy. And so that was just a really amazing thing. And I'm going to hand it off to Erin.
Awesome. Well, that's fantastic. And we're excited to get our choose boards because I want to be able to do that too. Hold mine up. So if you guys have not, again, go to osg.link/ICE, and that'll take you right to the store, the Inspire, Collaborate, and Encourage store. Not only are the choose boards there, but there's a ton of other just really positive and uplifting products and things that you can get there. Also, I'll just hit a little bit if you ever need any designs or anything like that. Gracie B Doodle Designs is go-to place for sure. And so last thing, and you guys will notice that Kylene had to jump off. This is part of life, right? You've got the day job was calling, and so she had to get to that. But the last thing I'll share real quick is just when we talk about that choose, right? I say take that to an extreme of make 100% commitment to that, right? Like Tanya said, it's okay that you have to come back to it, but when you came back to it every 5 minutes, that's you showing your commitment to, okay, I'm out of that. I'm 100% committed to being in that space, that what I chose that day. And Becky, hold up your board one more time for me if you got it still handy. Let's see, what's the productivity. Oh boy, she's like looking at me going, hey, it's over an hour, Erin. I've got to get productivity.
No, the productivity is so that I can finish my list of items before vacation next week.
Vacation, yes, indeed. Yes. All right. So let's celebrate that real quick. All right. So what I want to know, just anybody that's tuned in live right now, anybody that is listening and jump in the comments here. And what is it, the commitment that you're going to make for yourself this week, right? And again, that could be the daily thing in the choose board. But I want to know, like, what are you committed to this week? For me, I'm committed to we've got an outline for a workshop that we're working on, big, huge workshop that we're working on for Q1 that I'm very excited about. And I've been kind of letting other things get in front of that. So my commitment this week is that will be completely done. So there we go. What are your guys' commitments for the week?
I'm going to get back to routine so I can do the gratitude, my exercise, and working on the business, because with this big event, everything fell off.
Yeah. There you go. So getting back to the routine, 100% commitment to making that routine a priority in your life. I love it. Great job. What about you, Becky?
I'm going to probably stick with the productivity this week, just to make sure that the list of things that are are never ending. That's okay. We'll prioritize. We'll get the items that need to be done and off the list this week.
Yep.
And when I walk out the door Monday evening to watch my son's football game and then head to my mom's to leave on vacation, I'm closing the door. I'm going to close that spot off for a little while, and I will revisit everything when I get back. So refreshed and ready to go.
I love it. I love it. And that's such a great reminder for everybody, right? I know for me, like, vacation leading up to it is like, just, I pretty much need a vacation from my vacation sometimes, right? And so by choosing to be productivity, excuse me. Wow, that was not easy for me to say. By choosing that, right? Now you're making a choice to make that vacation what it's meant to be, right? Not just more stress inducing. So good job for you. All right. Well, we'll get Kylene's commitment here at a later date. Maybe she can jump in the comments there. But Becky, any last thoughts to close the show? I'll share Kylene's part here in just one second.
I'm just thankful and grateful for all of you guys and the ability for us to share.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Tanya, any last thoughts from you?
I love doing this on Wednesdays. It's the second show, but I get so much out of it, and I hope that others do too. And please feel free to share with others. Watching the replay is just as good.
Yep, absolutely. So share the replay, and then we'll have this all posted. Probably, I'll see if I can get it done today. We'll have next week's posted today, and you can share that. And I know it's early for a lot of people, but it's a great way to start your Wednesday. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Everybody that's tuned in live, everybody that's watching the replay, we want to thank you so much for your time. We're excited to hear your feedback. What did you like? What were the big takeaways for you? Sometimes sharing your takeaways actually helps other people, and then maybe they'll share their takeaways and you get help from that, right? See how this goes, right? The rising tide lifting all boats. So what did you like? What stood out? What do we need to work on, right? Aaron needs to talk a little bit less, maybe. What do you want to learn about? What else is going to move you closer to your idea of success ultimately? So thank you guys so much for your time here today, and we'll look forward to seeing everybody again next Wednesday morning. Thanks, everybody.
Have an amazing week, everybody.
Bye.